Hello and welcome to Joburg Today. My name is Dumi Tlhapo, bringing you the best of what's going down in and around Johannesburg. Human and wildlife conflict on roads happens only in rural areas, right? Not true. In fact, Joburg's roads are also human and wildlife conflict zones. South Africa's first guidelines to reduce wildlife mortalities on roads, published by the Endangered Wildlife Trust, aims to address these conflicts.
We tend to think of lions and elephants, and unless you go to Pilanesberg or Kruger, you're not seeing wildlife. But you forget about all the birds, even the hardy-daws, the plovers that are around us. We still have snakes around us. There's a lot of frogs around us, meerkats, mongoose around, rabbits, jackal frequently go out at night, and particularly the northern suburbs, and you hear jackal calling. The wildlife is here.
Well, these guidelines that you've formulated now over the years, it also comes from quite an intensive process of collecting data driven by the EWT. And I understand a lot of data, or a lot of that data actually comes from within the borders of the Greater Johannesburg. How's that possible?
It's absolutely possible, because here's where we have the eyes and ears. We started looking at roads and animals being killed on roads a few years ago. A colleague of mine, Wendy Collinson, did a master's on that. And we realized that this is a much bigger problem than we realized. And it's not just about animals being killed, it's also human safety. And so what we've done over time is we've asked people to start collecting data, send us data so we can start to figure out where the problems exist, what the problem species are, and importantly, what we can do about it. And of course, in Johannesburg, people have eyes and ears open on the road all the time. They submit data, and we've been amazed at just how much data we've got and what the variety of species and what gets submitted by people. It's really incredible.
Now this data that was collected in the bigger Johannesburg area, what does that actually tell us about wildlife in Johannesburg, and then of course the conflict between humans and wildlife on the roads in the city?
It tells us there's a lot of wildlife around, which we were quite pleasantly surprised to see just how much is around. And then we started to look at, well, what's driving these incidences? Why are animals being killed on the road? Is it speed? And surprisingly, it's very often not speed. It's people looking around and paying attention to other things or the car in front of them, and they just don't see the birds or animals in the road. There is also an element of they just can't brake in time, or something darts out in a road in front of them and it does get killed. And you know, we want to make sure that safety is a concern, so we keep looking at things like moon phases on bright moonlit evenings. Are you more likely to hit something because animals are more active than on dark nights when animals are less active?
Do we perhaps have anything like endangered species or species that one don't see often?
Yes, we've picked up reports of Cape vultures, bullfrogs, which are endangered. We've had striped polecats, a lot of mongoose and meerkats that pop up. There's a variety of rabbits too, which are not endangered, but we do like to make sure they're there. And of course hedgehogs, which are very endangered.
And in terms of this information that you now have gathered, how has that been put to use in order to, especially I guess in the case of endangered animals, to kind of protect them, make the roads safer for them?
The concept of road ecology as such is quite a new science to South Africa. So in some instances we're still experimenting with what works best where. But so what we've done is drawn a lot from overseas information and what's worked overseas, and looked at how we can use that and adapt it to a South African condition. And it's often as simple as putting a culvert under the road in the right place. There's along the N14 out near Lanseria side, they have a frog pond with the highway going across it, and there is a tunnel underneath that which allows the bullfrogs to cross safely underneath.
Like us on Facebook, JoburgToday.tv, and follow us on Twitter at Joburg Today. There are many reasons why Joburgers get up early, and the members of one of Johannesburg's oldest active social club, the Wits Bird Club, does so for, well, the birds.
The Wits Bird Club, founded in 1947, is South Africa's oldest and second biggest birding club.
Wits Bird Club is an organisation or a club which is for people who are interested in watching wild birds. We are a non-profit organisation. and we like to encourage people from all walks of life.
Well, I'm very new, but people have been very kind and pointed me in the right direction, and once I've seen a bird, then I can look it up and hopefully be able to recognize it again.
We have 3 satellite clubs, one in Henley on Klip, one on the East Rand and one on the West Rand. The reason being is the membership is so widespread.
South Africa has around 830 species of birds, with at least 50 of those being specific to our country. So the club explores the whole country, not just the greater Johannesburg area.
We do a number of things. We do outings like the outing today. They can be either close to Joburg, like the Walter Sisulu Botanical Gardens. They can be to the grasslands, like today. Or they can even be weekend outings where we go to places like Kruger Park or some of the nature reserves. Over and above that, we have monthly evening meetings on a third Thursday of the month, where we get speakers in to come and give us an illustrated talk. We do courses for bird identification. And we also get involved in some citizen science stuff where we do surveys and those sort of things. But by doing the citizen science, we do data gathering, which is used for all sorts of monitoring of the environment. Birds are a really good indicator of the welfare of the actual environment itself.
It's just find it very relaxing. It's a hobby I really enjoy doing, especially since I got into the photography side of it. It's just something I really like to do.
The Wits Bird Club is a great place for any ornithologist, experienced or amateur, to find knowledge, community, and most of all, birds. I'm Samuel Gebhardt for Joburg Today.
Hi, I'm Danny Glover, and you're watching Joburg Today.
That's all for today. For more on the city, do check out our playlist. From myself, Dumi Tlapo, and the Joburg Today crew, it's goodbye.